welcome. Oh, yeah, we are live. Welcome to another VanHack webinar. Today we're super excited to be at the headquarters of Hootsuite. We have Paul, Talene, and Bear with us today. Hello, everybody. Hello, world. Just want to start off by talking about how excited I am to actually be here at Hootsuite. You guys have been one of the kind of companies that Vancouver startup scene has been looking up to for a long time, and so it's really cool to be here helping you guys find talent. So thank you. I guess let's get into it. So first off, I just, as always, want to say, can you guys hear me? Is the audio working? Is the video working? I know a lot of times that that might be an issue. Just type yes if it is working, so we know that we can continue and get into the presentation here. Yes, perfect. Okay, great. All right, cool. That's always tricky. Fantastic, yeah. And we have our fancy microphone, so sound is good. Okay, cool. So first off, let's get started. Maybe we can talk about what is Hootsuite, and then talk about each of your experiences at the company. So I don't know who wants to grab that question.
So I guess we were established in 2008, and we're considered the most widely used platform for managing your social media. So Hootsuite is a dashboard, and many different social media channels integrate into that dashboard. So you can manage your social media, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, all through one dashboard, essentially.
Awesome. Cool, cool. And you guys obviously use social media all the time. I know Brazil is like the most active country in the world per capita in social media. So I think you kind of have an idea of what we're talking about. There you have some Leonardo saying hi. So people are saying hi to you. You already have some friends.
Oh, there we go. I'm making friends.
Yeah. So maybe we can get into each one of your stories. Maybe start with you, Bear, since you were the first technical hire here at the company. Maybe talk about your experience with Hootsuite.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar here. I'm really excited to chat with you guys. So my name is Bear, and I joined Hootsuite from the early days as a developer. And yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride. Lots of ups and downs, and mostly ups, which is good. And lots of technical challenges. And recently, not recently, like a couple of years ago, I shifted my role from a technical leadership into more like a management role. And I've been running that since. So right now I'm leading a team called Platform Team, which is in charge of reliability, speed and performance, and build and deploy and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's my journey so far.
Awesome, yeah. Cool. And maybe yourself, Paul?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul. I have been here over a year now, and I moved out to join the company from Toronto, and I manage the mobile group. So we look after the core Android, iOS, and mobile web apps that are part of our platform. And we've got different teams, outside of the core mobile group that are contributing on mobile across the company, but we're the kind of the center for mobile. And yeah,
Very cool.
I've been having fun since getting here and working on lots of interesting stuff that's going to be coming out shortly.
Yeah, exciting. Cool. Awesome. And introduce yourself, Tony.
Yeah, so hello, everyone. I'm a recruiter at Hootsuite. I've been here since September, and I work mostly with our product and development teams to recruit talent.
Awesome. Cool. So let's get into it. Talent. People are saying hi, so just want to say hi, guys. So yeah, let's talk about the talent. So we're all here because we have a lot of people online with us that want to be here in person with us and want to come work at Hootsuite. So what kind of opportunities are available? What kind of positions you guys have open? And then we can deep dive into the different technologies and how things work. So we can talk about that.
Yeah, so right now as a company as a whole, we have just over 75 positions open. But specifically for our product and development teams, we have about 15, and we're we're planning on hiring quite a bit more as well moving forward over the next quarter. So there's lots of opportunity. We're hiring anything from junior to intermediate to senior roles throughout most of our dev teams. And I guess you guys can speak more to the language stacks that each of your teams, sort of the skills that you are looking for. But company-wide, we use, I know PHP is a common language we use, JavaScript, Java, Scala is something that we use universally throughout our company, and Python as well, so, and Ruby on Rails. So those are the main language stacks, and each team really is catered differently depending on what projects and part of the product they're working on. But overall, that's what we look for. And in terms of the type of people that we like to attract, we definitely like to attract people that are able to work collaboratively and within a team. Our teams work cross-functionally with each other a lot, and we're big on knowledge sharing and sharing information and insights. We have whiteboards around the whole office. We're always, bouncing ideas off each other. We look for people that are really adaptable and work well in an agile environment, because that's defines who we are. We work in a very agile environment, and we're always sort of moving forward. There's new things happening, things change quickly. So we look for people that can sort of roll with that.
Awesome, very cool. And I just want to say, guys, if you guys have questions, I already see a couple of people, like 3 questions here. So thanks, Enrique, Anderson, Richard, for asking. We're gonna talk for a little bit here, and then we're gonna save the questions towards the end. And
is there a VanHack webinar going on?
Yeah.
We got a bunch of people up front. Do you want me to bring them in?
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. We have some people here in Vancouver who are coming as well. So anyway, let's get into the questions a little bit. But so please save your questions for soon. Let's first off talk a little bit more about Hootsuite, and then we'll get into your guys' questions. So please be patient. Hey guys, everybody.
Hi.
Hi guys. Welcome.
Thank
Come on in. There's a chair right there. Yeah. So sorry for the quick. Yeah. You guys. Hey. Yeah. So a lot of questions, guys. Let's save the questions. Okay. So let's get into it. So what about the one common question we had before? And I guess we talked about this there, and we jumped into as well. Paul, like what is the the processes of development here? Like you guys talk about agile, so Scrum meetings. Like, what can someone expect in terms of like a day-to-day operational point of view?
Well, I can take the first comment. Sure. If you could add more. Like I mean, in terms of day-to-day, it's pretty straightforward. Like in the morning, people come in and usually like one of the first things is a daily stand-up, as part of the agile process, to talk about what have you done and what you're doing today and what's blocking you. So just make sure everybody is moving forward. And then throughout the day, it's mostly development time, working closely with your team. For the most part, teams sit together and they work with your team. And if there's an issue, usually you just talk to people directly. And we also use a lot of tools like HipChat and Facebook at work. If you're a blog, you have questions, and you already get answers pretty quick from there. And and then on a higher level, we adopt Agile, but it's the exact way we run Agile varies from team to team. Different teams, adopt Agile the way that makes sense to them. So we don't have a universal process. Hey, this is the way to do Agile. And yeah, it's pretty pragmatic, in that way. So that's kind of a typical workday and the way we run Agile process. And we have Scrum to run typical projects that takes anywhere between 2 to 10 or 12 weeks. Mm-hmm. And we have Kanban for quick wins and bug fixes and stuff like that. That's how we run it on platform team. I'm not actually sure how mobile team does it.
Yeah, we do 2-week sprints, and we have a breakdown that usually looks like 75% resourcing towards sort of product initiatives, and then 25% that we spend time on sort of development-led initiatives that are sort of housekeeping or removing technical debt, things like that. And yeah, and so we don't in mobile we don't do Kanban as much, but different, like for example, the labs group, they build new innovative products, and they do more Kanban than sprint planning and release planning. So yeah, different groups, different slightly different flavors of the process.
Cool.
Yeah,
And what are the groups?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, okay. Maybe you want to go. Yeah, actually, that's one thing I want to mention is we have product teams. So Hootsuite is kind of our product and engineering organization is divided into several different product groups. Like one product focus on engagement, like that is social media information flowing in, and another product team is about publishing, which is social media information being posted out and announced. And then there's analytics, which is to track your ROI. There's platform team that I'm running, which is taking care of, like I said, all the backend infrastructure and the architecture stuff. And there's several other teams as well, which different product verticals. And every team has developers and a product manager, and sometimes a QA automation engineer. And so this is how we divide it as a team. But also, from your day-to-day, you have a lot of times you join meetings like something we call the guild. So now we have product verticals. Every team is self-sufficient to ship the product. Every team does JavaScript, HTML, Scala, or PHP, or some other language we have. How do you align all the different technologies across different teams? So this is when we have a kind of, I don't know, practice or process or whatever you call it. We call it guild. A guild is a group of people with similar interests, technical interests. For example, PHP guild, Scala guild, architecture guild, build and deploy guild, database guild. These are kind of different across kind of technology, and the group get together regularly and then meet and to talk about what are the problems with PHP, what are the problems with Scala, how can we make it better, how can we influence the leadership group to make a change. So so that's kind of the two different dimensions of how we run. For the most part.
Yeah, so that's a good example of how the teams work cross-functionally together. And in terms of size of the teams, so we have, I think, throughout our company, 125 to 130 developers, and they're broken out into teams of between 5 and 6 or 7. So it's really small teams that you're working with, which is nice, I think, to have a smaller team to work with. But, yeah.
I could say. And so there's platform, there's billing, there's mobile is one, or there's multiple.
There's data. Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
quite a few different groups, and as we grow, we specialize more.
Yeah, awesome.
And like Paul, for example, does mobile, but under him he has an iOS and an Android team.
Right.
So within each vertical, it's also split into smaller teams.
I just have to say, what someone just said, you guys are awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome as well.
Yeah, that's George.
Thank you.
Actually, let's get into a more specific question here that I actually like. Is what kind of PHP frameworks do you work on? So maybe let's go a little bit deeper in not just PHP, but like every programming language that you guys have. Just assume you're talking to a senior developer with 10 years experience in that language. What would you tell them that specifically what you work with in terms of PHP, iOS? Like, do you guys use Swift? Do you use
I mean, I can leave the PHP one to Bear, but on the mobile group, we are doing a lot of stuff in Swift now for the iOS platform. So anything new that's a big new addition, we tend to do it in Swift. We have a lot of legacy code that's Objective-C, so we maintain that and we extend that as we have to. We also have apps that are hybrid apps that we, for example, we helped the labs team deliver a product called Amplify, and it is a Cordova app that's written in JavaScript, Angular, uses the Ionic framework. And so we've also experimented with React Native here and are looking for different opportunities to use that tool. On the Android side, we're using Kotlin now, and On the API side, we do a lot of stuff in Scala. We've done some experimentation with Go, and where we have to maintain existing APIs, we're doing some of that in PHP still. So yeah, I guess we touch a lot of different technologies, and we're constantly evaluating third-party libraries that can help us do the job better, faster, more maintainable way. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, from Bear can probably speak more to the server side than I can.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Before I get into that, I think just like one thing I want to mention is our technology stack evolves all the time. Like it's never static, and it changes really fast as well. Today we are using one technology. Next year it could be totally different. It's not like we love chasing shiny object. It's more like the right technology that does the job. So for example, our database went from like simple MySQL database to MongoDB to some React and Redis, like just different things. And now we're talking about experimenting with Cassandra and just more things that I haven't even heard of. Programming language wise, we started off as a LAMP stack, PHP, MySQL, Linux, and Apache. And a few years ago, we started adopting Scala as our primary programming language. I'd say around the same time, we started moving from a monolithic web application into a service-oriented architecture. So Scala, I'd say, is our primary language now, and we are it's gonna take a while, but we are phasing out PHP as the primary programming language. So you're gonna see more Scala, you're gonna see more Go, and Python, stuff like that, moving forward. And in terms, just to be more specific, in PHP, we are still on a pretty old framework called the Zen framework. I don't know if people are using it these days anymore. Like I don't know anymore, but we're on Zen version 1.191, which is 5 years old, I believe. Because we back in the days we did a lot of customization and put ourselves into a whole lesson learned, and we could not upgrade at all. And I mean, we can with enough effort, but it's not worth doing that because we're migrating away from hosting anyways.
Yeah, I guess what I'm noticing is that you started off just as a 10, 15 person company. Now it's what, 400 or more people.
We have we're close to 900 globally.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and then
I didn't know that.
yeah, and in Vancouver we're just about 600.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
And we're based in 11 countries.
Yeah, so there's offices all over the world.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So, sure.
Can we ask questions too?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. And how do you evolve the technology? You have a lot of 100 people here with groups of 7 people. You have a lot of groups working on a lot of different things. You have one or multiple of them working. Oh, you have to discover how to do this on Scala, or have to discover how to do the program technology test with the technology, so you can use on the company.
Yeah, it's I mean, like for those of you who are familiar with distributed system, just try to come up with an analogy. Like there's something called eventual consistency. Basically, you sacrifice consistency for performance, so that you want things happen in parallel, and eventually you hope like everything converges, right? Eventual consistency. Like I think for technology adoption.
Okay, sorry. Can I take a quick picture of this diagram?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, we have all this recorded.
Sorry about that.
Looks really complicated.
Yeah. So it's the same for technology adoption. I think like technology adoption is a combination of bottom up and top down. But bottom up in terms of developers have the freedom to try out different technologies and whatever that makes sense to the company. And top down is mostly in terms of helping the people in the team, to make sure like the right way is done, like in terms of adopting the technology. And for example, recently we are experimenting with the Go, like Paul said. It came from developers, kind of frustrations with the kind of steep learning curve on Scala.
More people.
And and is there a better way to is there a better way? And so we are experimenting with Go, and so we have several different languages going, and also for our microservice framework, we have about 12 different flavors going on at the same time. Different combinations, like how do we do service discovery, how do we do communication protocol, like we have some internally developed protocol called VIP based on 0MQ. We're also experimenting with HTTP, console, Vault, like a bunch of different technologies, lots of different flavors. And it's definitely a lot harder to manage than just one flavor, but at the same time, the best wins at the end. And we're hoping eventually it will be consistent.
Very cool. Very cool. Great question. Yeah. Someone just said here, microservices are the future. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Yes. I believe so. Let's make it happen. Let's make it the future.
Cool. Yeah. Do we have another?
I left my phone in there.
No, that's my phone.
Oh, that's your phone. Where's my
I saw you walk out with it.
Did you? That was someone else's
Oh.
phone.
Okay. Find my phone. Okay. Yeah. So, cool, guys. So let's maybe take a couple questions here from everybody. I guess maybe one question that I have, and I'm sure a lot of people are thinking of it, is what do we do to impress you guys? So a lot of people probably did the VanHackathon challenges, and you guys are obviously evaluating those challenges now. But how can someone apply and kind of have a strong application? And we can talk about the candidate experience.
Yeah. I mean, I guess your resume really speaks to your experience. So ensuring that what we like to see is, first of all, candidates that are proficient and have experience in the language stacks for that specific job posting. But in addition to that, are you working on personal projects? It's great to list those on your resume. Any initiatives you're taking like that. We love candidates that are really passionate about what they're doing and are doing things outside of their day-to-day job. And then we love candidates as well that this might not be reflected in your resume, but when we talk to you, how are you keeping up with technologies and new technologies that are coming up every week? So how do you educate yourself outside of work on those types of things? And then in terms of Paul, when you look at a resume, what really stands out to you, would you say?
Can I answer that a little differently?
Sure,
Just
yeah.
in terms of like the hackathon, I thought was really interesting new approach on getting to know somebody, and I found it very refreshing. When I was going through the projects, I was looking at the delivery of the project. I was looking into the source code. I was trying to build and run the project myself and see if I could use it as it was delivered. And so it wasn't until the end really that I took a look at the LinkedIn profile or the resume. It kind of turned it on its head for me.
Yeah.
And it was, I think for me, one of the things I really found myself thinking more about was like responsiveness and discipline, around the delivery of the hackathon. Like I loved the creativity, and I thought a lot of them had the creativity, but there was definitely a difference in the, how easy it was for me to try and execute the project, or if I had a problem getting it running and I put out a ping on Slack, who would respond, and were they able to get me over the line? And so that it was a really interesting experience to use that as a tool, and I'm looking forward to doing more of it.
Yeah, that was definitely something very successful that we found. This hackathon was a really interesting way, like Paul said, it kind of flipped the way we do things, because usually you see a profile or resume and then you bring someone in and put them through a technical assessment, but this is a great way to sort of flip it and see the work firsthand and then go to the profile. The work speaks for itself.
Yeah. Show your skills, exactly. Yeah. It's really cool. I'm just curious to add, were you able to run them? Like, were they okay? Like, any feedback?
I was able to run, I'd say, the majority.
Okay.
Yeah, which was good. Like, I understand that some people were solos and some people were in teams, and some people didn't have a chance to get very far, and others got very far. So, totally understand that. But it really was a great way to see what someone might bring in right away. A lot of times people were playing with technologies that they'd never touched before.
Oh, cool.
And so to see how fast someone can pick something up or get the general idea of how to approach a problem with a new tool, it was good.
Cool. Yeah. I think that's a theme I've heard a lot from you guys is adaptability to new technologies, and very cool. So,
and it's something that we actually afterwards we debriefed just a couple days ago, and we said this was a great way to sort of see someone's skill sets and abilities, and maybe we should start implementing this earlier on in the screening process.
I think we have more friends. Hi, Patricia. Hi, welcome. We have one more chair for you. Good to see you. Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you come around. Yeah, well, we can definitely talk more about that offline and having perpetual hackathons is kind of where we want to head to. But yeah, so people, Victor said sending CV now. So
thanks, Victor.
Yeah, and Leonardo is saying who chat, so people are, I guess, excited about that. Awesome. Okay, so maybe we can open it up for questions if anyone in the room has questions, and if anyone online for the next 20 minutes or so, we can, I guess, one thing that maybe we talk about quickly is before questions again is what happens after when they get the interview? What can people expect? Let's say you love their project. Okay, now it's time to interview the person. Is it a phone screening first and then technical test, or how would you guys initially?
Yeah, so in terms of the process, the way it works typically, aside from this hackathon experience, is we'll see a resume that we like. The hiring manager, the recruiter will agree it's someone we want to move forward with. We'll do a phone screen, so it'll be about a 20-minute, 30-minute phone screen with a recruiter to do more of an assessment of, is this the right opportunity for you? What are you really looking for? Are you a fit culturally with the company? And then the recruiter will pass the notes to the hiring manager to review and see if it's someone they want on their team. And then if they want to move forward, we'd set up a technical phone screen with the candidate and another member, a developer on the team, to dig a bit deeper. It's like a 30-minute call, dig a bit deeper on the technical side, and see if they're a good fit with the tech stacks that they use within their team. And then after that, we do one interview, and the interview is about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And we do it in one go. And it's essentially, there'll be 3 segments. So the first segment will be meeting with some of the developers in the team. They'll do a technical assessment on the whiteboard. They'll answer a problem. The next part will be, maybe they'll meet with a few stakeholders, depends on the role in the team, but maybe they'll meet with a few stakeholders that they'll be working closely with. And then the final portion is a meeting with the manager of the team and then a recruiter to do more of a culture team fit. So that's really the process. And then after that, it's reference checks and decide how to move forward.
Onboarding.
Yeah, onboarding. And we haven't decided yet, but we're still working to see how with the hackathon people we want to move forward with. Perhaps we'll just move straight to interview and just hit the interview right away because they've sort of gone through a screening process where we know sort of what you can produce, and we'll move forward with the interview. So we're still trying to work.
Hopefully that saves you guys time.
Yeah, that's also the idea of it. So we'll see how that pans out.
Cool, exciting. Yeah, all experimenting here.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm sure, there's questions are popping up like crazy here. Yeah, so remote work, I see questions for remote work. I've seen that a couple times. I think I'll have to ask that in general. Do you guys ever have people work remotely, or potentially after they go through the hiring process, they start remotely and then move into in-person when they arrive here, or would you like them just to start in person when they're here?
Ideally, we always like to start them and we always do start them in person on site because we go through an onboarding. Oh, this guy's our little ambassador.
Yeah. Standing room only now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on in,
We should
guys.
start paying you for this. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Was there actually a phone on the desk here when you guys came in?
That's what they're
No,
someone came in and asked us. We
didn't
didn't
see
see
it.
anything. No. There, this is your phone, right? Yeah, quality was talking.
This is not my phone.
Oh, this is not your phone.
Maybe this is.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, then that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So well, that was Bear's phone.
Hi. Good to meet you. Hi.
So
No worries. Well, welcome. It's all good. Welcome. So yeah, the question was remote.
Remote, yes,
Remote,
so-
you're saying.
So yeah, we like to set people up for success. So that means we like to make sure they're the company's all about, and they're set up on the first day with a laptop, and we go through like a 3-hour onboarding in the morning. So everyone we started people every 2 weeks, and they all start together. Everyone new that's starting in the company, and as sort of talent representative, we'll give them a 3-hour onboarding. IT will come in, talk to them, and security will come in. They'll talk about all the compliance measures and what it's like to work here and where you can go for what.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to start people here so they have that experience. We think it's the best experience, and then they have to onboard with the team, be sort of in person with their team and with their manager to really set them up to be successful on their first day and their first week. So we really like to start people here. Later on, if they have to go work remotely, for whatever reason, not for a long period, but at the discretion of your manager, you need to go away for a week or two and work remotely, that might be able to happen, but not in the beginning stage of you starting.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
One thing I want to kind of add on
Yeah.
top of that is, as a developer, at Hootsuite we do a lot of continuous. Like we are a big fan of continuous deployment. So we set a goal a long time ago that as a developer, the first day you join the team, you need to push the code to production. And we successfully achieved that a couple of years ago. And since then, pretty much for the most part, every new developer joining Hootsuite, on day one, you have your code on production. So I think that's another reason why we would prefer people to come here to feel that excitement. Like you're not here waiting for a month, to get your code to contribute. You actually contribute on day one.
That's cool. Yeah, as you guys got that right. That's like the first day in person. You have to push code, so be ready. Okay, cool. The room is crowded. Yes, it is. Let's dive into some more questions. And guys, welcome. Feel free to ask any questions. We have about 15 minutes. Okay, cool. Nice.
About the UX designer role, how many people are in the team? Like,
Yeah, we talked a lot about
involved?
developers. Let's talk
Yeah,
about designers.
Yeah, about the designers and other design-related jobs. too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
what
like,
do you expect? What
Yeah, art director, UX director. There's a lot of like creative animations.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Same boat there.
Yeah,
Cool.
so do you want me to speak on that?
Yeah, please.
Okay, sure. So the UX designer position, that's for our product team. The art director and the other ones you mentioned, that's more for our marketing group. But for our UX designer on the product team, so the team itself, I think, is about a team of 10, and it's mixed from junior to intermediate to senior designers, and we have a senior user researcher as well on that team, and we're hiring another intermediate user researcher for the team. And then that whole team is led by manager Jason Armstrong. And what else do you want to know about the team, maybe?
what are the roles? Like you have the UX designer.
Yeah.
Working with another UX designer. So you have
Like how do they work?
graphic designers too, or they work together with the development team.
Yeah,
or user researcher. That's what
So
I
we don't have the graphic
Other
design.
structure.
Sure, yeah. The graphic designer is more for, I guess, like our marketing team. We don't really have any graphic designers here that work on our product. Our UX designers they do everything from visual design to interaction design to even designing like for more of the architecture and UI. And we have a user, and then where was I going with my train of thought? I completely lost it.
I could talk about how they work with
maybe
mobile.
talk about the way they work with mobile, and then
Like we in mobile we have designers that work with us, and they're dedicated to mobile as their specialty, and they so let's say we're setting off on a big new feature, then they may do user research and usability testing up front, do some design before it ever gets to the developers. Then once it enters development and we're working on it together in sprints, the designer is part of that process. And so as refinements are being made week to week, they're helping work side by side with us. And so so they're embedded within our group, but they're also they have two seats. They have a seat with the developers and they have a seat with the design team, and they go back and forth throughout the project. And so that's gives you an idea of if you were the mobile UX designer here, that's how you would work with the mobile team.
Yeah, so thank you for so yeah, you're embedded on a team for a specific project, and I think we do have someone that's focused solely on mobile. But for the other designers too, they're embedded on a team during the duration of a project, but they might jump to another team once that project is done and they're assigned to another project. So you really have the opportunity to work also cross-functionally as a designer. Yeah.
Very cool. And a couple of people are asking here about like marketing and I guess social media marketing.
Yeah.
Hootsuite. Do you guys have roles for growth and things like that, and SEO, those kind of things?
Yeah, so we are hiring a lot for our marketing team as well, and all the roles are posted online. And we do hire designers and I think art director, like you mentioned, for our design team. So we're hiring a lot in that area too.
Yeah, and how's the process for that kind of professional? I'm trying for the creative director's one. You guys published soon, like a few weeks ago, maybe. And I'm wondering, like, how does the creative team work with the production and development and graphic around here?
Yeah.
How is the link between the teams? How do you guys work with the creative team?
I'm actually, I'm not the recruiter for that team, so I don't actually know how they work together. But what we can do is I can connect you potentially, or we can get the recruiter for that marketing organization to come in, and we can have another webinar maybe, or we can connect the two of you together.
Yeah,
that's the question. Exactly. The creative director goes directly to marketing. How does it relate to the development and engineering? That's the curiosity.
Yeah. Do you have Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, because so the marketing recruiter, she often answers tweets. She's really good at answering tweets and stuff like that. So if you tweet her, I can pass you her Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Her name's Cassie.
Okay.
She's great. She'll respond to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess Hootsuite, social media, right?
Yeah.
You have to be social.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. And I guess that's just a quick side note. Like, social media is totally impacting recruiting. So you guys must have companies that use it to recruit. Right?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah, we actually do we're starting to explore that sort of social sourcing and using social to attract candidates and find candidates, especially in marketing.
Yeah, it's much more active there. Yeah. Cool. All right, so let's question here. Any Brazilians working at Hootsuite? Do you guys have any fun from Brazil? I know you used to have someone. I think she moved on to another company, but do you guys have anyone?
Hire someone from. Someone was mentioning to me.
Yeah, we have quite a few from South America, but unfortunately I don't know the exact country.
I know we brought a couple.
Diego's from Colombia.
Diego's from
Yeah. We brought a few that I've heard of recently from South America. I don't know specifically Brazil.
Cool. Well, let's bring some from Brazil. That's even.
I'm sorry, but I have another question based on development. You guys talked about the agile process, continuous delivery, and code maintenance. And first of all, do you work with pair programming? How is your code review process if the guys, and what is the base of if you have some patterns about, try to code this way, this is a better oriented objective manner to do some things and things like this, something code independent.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can take a stand like that. I mean, we do pair programming pretty regularly. It depends on what we are writing. Like if a task is well defined and there's no onboarding for new hire or knowledge sharing, and you're doing that by yourself. But a lot of times we do pair programming, to spread the knowledge and to help people out. And And that's, yeah, so it's on kind of on-demand basis. And in terms of code review, it's our formal process. So every time when you commit the code, it's on the branch. And before you can merge it to master branch, which is where production kind of talks to, then you need a code reviewer's thumbs up. So at least one thumbs up. And from then you have comments on, we have style guide, we have a Scala style guide. How should you write Scala code, and PHP style guide, and JavaScript, and probably mobile as well. Yeah. So to ensure that we maintain like a reasonable amount of standard, and then people thumbs up. I will have comments and you fix that kind of process, and then you can merge the master. Yeah.
And if we're going in and creating something that isn't maybe is a little bit different than something we've done before, then we might have a quick design session with people before we get into the code. So we do these sort of ad hoc, just periodic reviews of like what we're delivering, and is there a better design, and how can we enhance this next time, if not this time. And that's it.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's because my company doesn't do this, so that's why I'm asking.
Cool, awesome. A couple people are asking here about the like timelines for interviews. I'm sure you have a lot of applications to go through. A lot of people want to work here. So do you guys have like a week or 2 weeks or 3 week period to get back to someone if you're interested? Is there like a standard, or is it just fluctuating? I'm sure it's hard to manage so much.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely fluctuates for volume. There isn't, depending on volume and how many roles are open, there isn't a standard, but we typically like to get back to people within a couple weeks. Yeah.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, so guys, sit tight. I know you're anxious. I know a lot of you are applying right now, so just have some patience.
Actually, I've heard, from a lot of my hiring managers that we've got an influx of people from Brazil applying, and they're like, I wonder why this is happening. And so I explained to them what was going on. But yeah, hang tight, we'll get back to you.
Thanks for making our job harder.
Yeah.
But we like it.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we find some superstars. Someone asked, are you hiring architects, software architects, DevOps, that kind of thing? I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm hiring DevOps. I mean, yeah, basically people who are kind of versatile in system engineering, tooling, and scripting a lot in that realm, basic automation. And in terms of architect,
in billing, I know in our billing team we have two senior positions open on billing, and Bethany, she's the director on that team. She said that she would be really interested in candidates that have some architecture experience.
So like I guess like one way we can put it is at Hootsuite we have, from the engineering team, we have 2 career tracks. One track is management track, that is managing team. Like basically you're producing the best team to produce the best technology and product. And the other career track is technical track. We call it guru track, technical guru track, which is you produce the best product and technology. And we don't have an official role called architect, but it's part of the guru track. It goes from junior developer to intermediate, senior, to specialist, to principal engineer, and all the way to CTO. So I guess like from senior and above, you are like kind of like in architect role, because at that point you gotta like you're a source of a primary source of input for architectural decisions and bouncing off ideas and experimenting with new technologies and stuff like that.
Very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I think we have some DevOps guys with us here today, so yeah, let's apply to those roles.
And we have a DevOps team as well that we hire those types of individuals for.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So the DevOps team we have here, the only one mandate is how do you speed up the process, the time between developer code ready to code on production. Like I said, we do continuous delivery, and we release tens of times a day onto production, and even minute and second of delay matters to us. So a lot of times we optimize even really just for half a minute, like 30 seconds or something like that, to take that off the pipeline time, so we can get code to production fast. So there's a lot of challenges there, and there's no off the limit thing. It's anything you can do to speed up things is a big deal for us.
Very cool. Yeah, it's such a big system, sure.
Yeah, lots of moving parts. Big monolithic application and tens of microservices. It's not an easy job. I can say that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even agree. How many messages do you guys handle per day, like, that go out? I know I send like 15 or 20, and I'm like, it's a tiny company, and Fortune 500 companies send out thousands, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not so that message. I think just on top of my head is probably millions, if not tens of millions. But it's all the little messages behind this big message.
Like the comments, and the
lots of moving parts, and just like internal communication, API calls, that make one message happen. It's a lot of hard work behind that.
Yeah.
Wow, incredible. One question here, we've got about 5 minutes left, is English language requirements. Do you guys have like a minimum, or how can you test that, or how can people improve that? Any tips on language?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, as you get more senior in a developer role, communication is very important to be able to communicate your ideas and your thoughts. But so that's something we value for sure. But me and Bear were talking about this a few weeks ago. Is given the right type of talent, we're definitely willing to invest in sort of the language piece. If someone's coming straight from Brazil and they're not their language isn't quite there, we're willing, depending again on the skill set and everything, and the needs for the team, to invest in someone like that and invest. We imagine that after being here for a couple months, that will come, and so we are willing to invest in that language piece.
For sure, yeah. And I'm sure everyone here is working hard on improving your English, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right now we're practicing. So
Yeah.
That's good.
In case you haven't noticed, I wasn't born here. I came from China when I was about 15 years ago. When I came here, I used my body language just to make sure I feel my stomach. So it's a lot of hard work, but at the end of the day, the language itself should not be a barrier. To get it out.
Yeah.
One of our values, code has no accent. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool.
It's great for the hackathon as well to have that as your first in, because it's just you're using code language. It removes the barrier.
Yeah. That's awesome. Exactly what we want to do. Yeah. Cool. So I want to try something here. We've never done this before on webinars, but someone is requesting to ask a question verbally, speaking of English. So Marcelo, you asked if you can speak, and I am going to test and see if you can. So get ready. I'm going to try this. So I don't know how it works. I've never worked. If it doesn't work, we'll try. But I clicked it, and should make you be able to speak, Marcelo. I think you have to accept something. But if it doesn't work, then it's okay. We just ask. I have one more question. Yeah, I don't think it'll work. Okay, no worries. So Bruno is in love with Hootsuite. Cool. Well, yeah, it's cool. Oh, it did work. Cool. Hey, Marcelo.
Hello.
Hey, can you guys see Marcelo?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you, Marcelo. Can you say something?
Okay, nice. Are you hearing me?
I think your mic might not be working.
So close.
Put your mic on.
Oh no, you muted yourself. Well, at least we can see you, man.
It's funny. He's actually speaking in front of the microphone.
Can you
yeah.
listen?
Well, yeah. Where it's one. I guess it's just technology doesn't always work. Oh, you guys can hear him, but for some reason it must be on something on my side. Maybe I'll test here my. Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, Marcelo, try again. I just removed the microphone.
Okay, could you listen?
No.
Can
No,
you
it's
listen?
not.
Open the sound options.
Yeah.
Hello?
Let's. Yeah, it's too much work for now. Yeah. So, actually, maybe go to an option. All right, one last try. Marcelo, can you hear us?
Yes.
No, we can hear you. Okay, it's okay. Well, we can see you, and Marcelo and I actually spoke this afternoon on Skype, and his English is fantastic. So, and he actually is the winner of the My Best Helper Challenge. So he did the My Best Helper Challenge, and he was selected by them as the best.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Congrats.
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah,
That's great.
Cool. Awesome.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, maybe you can type your question, Marcelo, instead. Yeah, so maybe one more question from you guys, and one question for Marcelo, and then I have.
Can you listen now or not?
No, I know if you already asked it, more about the hiring process. What kind of things that cause your attention more in a resume? It's the education or experience. What kind of soft skills do you look for?
Yeah, and this is for a developer role.
Actually, I'm a designer. But
Your designer, yeah. I mean, we pay attention to education, but I'd say we focus very heavily on the projects you've worked on and the places you've worked and what projects you've accomplished there. In terms of hard skills for developers, like it's the languages you use, and for designers, it's more the quality of your projects and your portfolio. Yeah, definitely check out the portfolio for that. And then soft skills for both, but especially for designers, is your ability to communicate. It's important to be able to defend your design, communicate your design to different stakeholders, and same goes for developers for your coding and such. And then your ability to collaborate as well is very important, and work with the team and be open. You know, it's good to have an opinion, but also to be open to feedback and be sort of malleable in that sense.
I'm actually
Yeah.
can I just ask
Yeah.
just a quick question? I'm working as a business system analyst here, and I was wondering if you have any kind of role that you are looking for a person, like for a business analyst role or business system analyst role, and what are the skills that you are kind of looking for?
Yeah.
I know that communication obviously
Yeah.
it's mandatory, it's required for that, so I'm just looking for something that I could just
For like a business analyst?
yeah, business analyst or business system analyst as well. So
Yeah, I'm actually not familiar with much of the business system analyst.
Yeah, like are you talking about from like the data mining?
yes, like data management, and maybe be like a business analyst and then gathering requirements and setting
I'll
requirements.
hook you up with I'll connect with someone who's on.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good.
Yes, probably I'll connect.
Okay, great.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
great. Thank you.
It's much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, it's much easier. Yeah, it is.
Can I ask something just like her question? But we talked a lot about developers. We talked a lot about other technologies. I want to know a little about the social builder position that you have here, and about the financial assistance as well. So it's kind of getting out of this developing side, moving to digital branding and the financial area of Hootsuite.
Yeah, so marketing and finance, both of them?
For each kind of position,
Yeah.
what kind of things that you would ask for? What kind of resume are you looking for?
Yeah, it's very
Skills.
catered depending on the job description and depending on the role. I can't speak to those roles, but yeah, I guess it really depends on your education mixed with your experience. We can maybe put you in touch with the recruiter that's supporting those roles, and she can give you more visibility into that world. Does that help?
Yeah.
Cool.
And actually, you just reminded me, so another thing that's, speaking about the portfolio for design, one thing we look for is not only what you have in your portfolio, but how you communicate and walk the viewer through the process, through your process. So it's not only the finished product we look for, but how did you start with the concept, and how did you walk through to get to the finished project, or product, sorry, and how you explain that in your portfolio is very important. So Taya did a really great job of that.
Yeah. She had a really nice portfolio.
Yeah.
The video on the front was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am testing.
It's okay. You against it. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. There's many more awesome designers. Yeah. So All right, guys. So we're at 6:05. So we've gone all over our time, and I want to be very respectful of everybody's time here. So I just have one last question about maybe the future of Hootsuite, of the company. Just in general. It's been, I guess, 8 years that you guys have been around.
8 years.
8 years. Done a lot of awesome stuff. Like what's next door for Hootsuite in the next 3, 5, 10 years?
I can.
Yeah, nothing. Without revealing anything. Virtual reality drones, Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question. Like, I think just social media in its own. I think Hootsuite, one of the success factor of Hootsuite is we are always into this uncharted territory, a market and the business not well defined. Unlike the gaming or customer support. There's been established market. There's a cap there, and you can go as far as as high as the cap, where the cap is, right? But for social media, nobody knows where it's gonna land. 8 years ago when people talk about social media, who knows? But now looking at it, it's expanding and lots of different opportunities popping up. Lately, we've been looking at a lot on social customer support, social selling, social marketing, all the different angles. But 5, 10 years from now, who knows? Where social will lead to us. I think that's the exciting part, though. That means the challenge and excitement is unbounded, and that makes the journey even more fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we're gonna head to in 5 to 10 years. I don't have that crystal ball.
Yeah.
But I know it's gonna be something. I know the journey will be super exciting, though.
Cool.
Yeah.
From my perspective.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, what they say is where we are was social media kind of is when websites started coming out and emails started coming out, and companies were like, do we need a website for our product or to market our brand? I don't know. Maybe it's BS. I don't know. And now that's social's kind of erupting the way websites did, where brands are finally realizing we definitely need to be present on social. We need to be keeping up with the conversation on social, and this is the best way to really get in touch with our customers and market our products. So it's really erupting now, and where that's going to be down the line, like Bear said, we don't know. So that's,
like Snapchat and Periscope.
Actually, I have one interesting fact for you guys. Not a sad fact, but we are the first one who detected before the news, the Michael Jackson died. Back then, it was in 2011. All of a sudden, I got a phone call, Hootsuite.com is down. And I was like, what the hell? Let's look into what's going on. And then I realized the message volume just exploded. And then I look at the message themselves, it's RIP Michael Jackson and stuff like that. I was like, what? Is that the Michael Jackson that I know? And then I checked Google and checked news website, and nothing's showing up. And I was just keep watching the news. And then a few minutes later, then I saw from the news website, Michael Jackson died and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I knew that before the news came out. And in 2008, that's when we just got started. And there's one of the primary reasons Obama won the presidential the president was because he really leveraged social media, and that's when we just got started. And that's when the White House started using Hootsuite as a tool to actually is a U.S. White House using Canadian. I don't know if I did that before. We actually use our tool to schedule tweet, and I can actually see the tweet they're gonna send out.
Before they.
Back then there was no security. Now anyways, yeah.
And even
maybe we'll edit that.
So now you look at what's going on with the U.S. president election. It's all over social media. Who knows? 4 or 8 years from now, what's going to happen, right? It's
very exciting. It's really changing the way we live.
Even I've heard for protests, I think it was a protest in Ukraine that happened a few years ago. The government, the country had banned social media so that people couldn't use it to participate in the protest and spread the word. And so they were using Hootsuite. The people of the country were using Hootsuite because it wasn't banned to communicate and get the word out and get people amped. So what a cool,
Same for Japanese tsunami a few years ago. I'm seeing tweets people are saying, "Help me! I'm stuck here." I guess in a way, social media is not just oh, my dog just eat his food.
Like, those weird stuff. Like social media really changed people's lives.
Yeah.
And we are here making a real impact.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and B Corporation too, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we didn't touch on, but
Yeah.
yeah, very cool. Okay, well, I think it's a great place to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much, Paul, Talene, Bear. Thanks guys for coming and hanging out with us. And
You guys.
everybody online, I know you have tons of questions. I'm sorry we didn't have time to get to them all.
You can tweet us.
You can tweet, exactly. Please tweet Hootsuite HQ your questions, just at Hootsuite HQ. And also, I think there's a Hootsuite Brazil or Hootsuite BR. Yeah,
Hootsuite Life.
Yeah, Hootsuite Life. There's just two. If you can't figure out how to get in touch with Hootsuite on social, you shouldn't be working for Hootsuite. Just put it that way. Yeah. Cool. So that's your challenge for tonight. Maybe just say thank you. That could be something really nice too. Okay, and again, I'm gonna finish out saying thanks to everyone for hanging out with us. A lot more coming out, a lot more information, a lot more webinars like this with amazing companies like Hootsuite. And yeah, let's see who gets to come here and hang out with us in Vancouver. All right.
Thanks,
cool.
guys.
thank you.
Bye.